बर्हापीडं नटवरवपुः कर्णयोः कर्णिकारं बिभ्रद्वासः कनककपिशं वैजयन्तीं च मालां रन्ध्रान् वेणोरधरसुधया पूरयन् गोपवृन्दैः बृन्दारण्यं स्वपदरमणं प्राविशत् गीतकीर्तिः। श्यामश्रीमधु यस्य मधु तत्कैशोरमत्यद्भुतं क्रीडा यस्य मधूनि यस्य च मधून्येकादश क्षक्रियाः माध्वीयस्य विलोकनाङ्गवजसां भङ्गी यदीयं वपु रूपं मध्वथ भूषणादि च मधु व्यामोहयेत्कं न सः। वन्दे कृष्णपदारविन्दयुगलं यस्मिन् कुरङ्गीदृशां वक्षोजप्रणयीकृते विलसति स्निग्धोऽङ्गरागस्वतः काश्मीरं तलशोणिमोऽपिरितनः कस्तूरिकां नीलिमा श्रीखण्डं नखचन्द्रकान्तलहरी निर्व्याजमातन्वते अस्ति स्वस्तरुणीकराग्रविगलत्कल्पप्रसूनाप्लुतम् वस्तु प्रस्तुतवेणुनादलहरी निर्वाणनिर्व्याकुलम् स्रस्तस्रस्तनिबद्धनी विवलसत् गोपीसहस्रावृतम् हस्तन्यस्तनतापवर्गमखिलोदारं किशोराकृतिः मन्दं मन्दं मधुरनिनदैर्वेणुमापूरयन्तं बृन्दं बृन्दावनभुवि गवां चारयन्तं चरन्तं छन्दोभागे शतमखमखध्वंसिनां दानवानां हन्तारं तं कथय रसने गोपकन्याभुजङ्गम् बर्होत्तंसविलासकुन्तलभरं माधुर्यमग्नाननं प्रोन्मीलन्नवयौवनं प्रविलसत् वेणुप्रणादामृतम् आपीनस्तनकुड्मलाभिरभितो गोपीभिराराधितं ज्योतिश्चेतसि नश्चकास्तु जगताम् एकाभिरामाद्भुतम् राधा दास्यमपास्य यः प्रयतते गोविन्दसङ्गाशया सोऽयं पूर्णसुधारुचेः परिचयं रागां विना काङ्क्षति किञ्चश्चामरतिप्रवाललहरी बीजं नयेतां विदुः ते प्राप्यापि महामृताम्बुधिमहो बिन्दुं परं प्राप्नुयुः कस्तूरीतिलकं ललाटपटले वक्षस्थले कौस्तुभं नासाग्रे वरमौक्तिकं करतले वेणुं करे कङ्कणं सर्वाङ्गे हरिचन्दनं चकलयन् कण्ठे च मुक्तावली गोपस्त्रीपरिवेष्टितो विजयते गोपालचूडामणिः निखिलभुवनलक्ष्मी नित्यलीलास्पदाभ्यां कमलविपिनवीथीगर्वसर्वङ्कषाभ्यां प्रणमदभयदानप्रौढिगाढातृदाभ्यां किमपि वहतु चेतः कृष्णपादाम्बुजाभ्यां तरुणारुणकरुणामयविपुलायतनयनं कमलाकुचकलसीभरविपुलीकृतपुलकं मुरलीरवतरलीकृतमुनिमानसनलिनं मम खेलतु मदचेदसि मधुराधिरमृतम् वंशीविभूषितकरात् नवनीरदाभात् पीताम्बरादरुणबिम्बफलाधरोष्ठात् पूर्णेन्दुसुन्दरमुखादरविन्दनेत्रात् कृष्णात् परं किमपि तत्त्वमहं न जाने सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय कृष्णायाक्लिष्टकारिणे नमो वेदान्तवेद्याय गुरवे बुद्धिसाक्षिणे नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। श्री शिवाय गुरवे नमः। श्री गणेश शारदा गुरुभ्यो नमः। So this session today we are starting the Dvitiyodhyaya, the second chapter. In the Sridhara Bhashya, in his introductory remarks, Sridharacharya introduces the subject matter, the content of the second chapter with a verse. So this is what he writes in the Bhashyam. Tadevam prathamadhyaye षट् प्रश्ना मुनिभिः कृताः द्वितीये तु उत्तरं सूतश्चतुर्णाम् आहतेष्वथ. So Sridhara says in the first chapter, which is known as the Prasna Adhyaya, Shat Prasna Adhyaya, the chief topics that was inquired by the Shaunakadi Maharshis were 6. Tadevam prathame adhyaye षट् prasnaha munibhih kritaha. That's what he says. And in this second chapter, Dvitiye tu uttaram sutaha chaturnamaha. Suta replies to 4 of those questions. And 2 will come later. So the 4 questions he will be attempting to answer in the second chapter would be: the first one was presented in the 9th verse of the first chapter. Pumsam ekantata shreyaha, the unfailing means of attaining the final good or shreyaha. That was the first question. The second was the saramudhritya tadvada, the essence of all shastras by which the seeker's mind becomes cheerful and serene as a result of Bhagavad Prasada, Atma Prasada, Chitta Prasada. And the third question was the Leela of Krishna, the actions of Bhagavan on his avatara as Balarama and Sri Krishna. That was on verse 12. And the fourth question was, how can the Ramakrishna Leelas, how are they capable of removing the fear of Kali, the fear of samsara? These were the 4 questions which are going to be attempted by Sudha to be answering in this second chapter. The 5th and 6th questions. 5th one, the avatara description, and the 7th, what happened to Dharma? Who supported Dharma after Krishna left? Those will come later in the 3rd chapter. So that is how Sridhara introduces this second chapter. Now let us look at the first verse of the second chapter. Vyasa uvacha iti samprasna samhrishto vipranam raumaharshini pratipujya vachastesham pravaktumupachakkrame. So the padacheda would be iti samprasna samhrishtaha vipranam raumaharshini pratipujya vachaha tesham pravaktum upachakrame. That is the padacheda. And the anvaya would be iti samprasna samhrishtaha raumaharshinihi tesham vipranam vajah pratipujya pravaktum upachakrame. So which means iti in this manner, prashna samhrishtaha, samprashna samhrishtaha. Samprashna means dharmic questions, good questions. Samhrishtaha means very highly pleased. Raumaharshanihi means Raumaharshana's son, Ugrasravaha or Suta Maharshi. He is Raumaharshani's. Like Dasharatha's son Rama is Dasarathi. Raumaharshana's son is Raumaharshanihi. And what did Suta Raumaharshani do? Tesham, of those Maharshis, Vipranam, Vachaha Pratipujya, complimenting, by doing pujana means respecting, complimenting, Tesham Vachaha, their words, their enquiry, Pravaktum, in order to give a reply, Upachakrame, commenced, started. So Vyasa Uvacha, Vyasa said, Iti samprasna samrishtaha raumaharshinihi tesham vipranam vajah pratipujya pravaktum upachakrame. Vyasa said, being very highly pleased, this Suta, Ugrasrava, by the courteous dharmic questions of these Brahmanas, these sages, Ugrasrava Suta, the son of Raumaharshana, complimenting their words of enquiry, began to reply in detail. So that is the meaning of the verse. So now Sridhara writes in the Bhashyam here, Vipranam ityevam bhudaihi samyak prasnehi hrishtaha romaharshana putraha. Itham bhudaihi samyak prasnehi, by the questions which were very well mannered, which was proper. Putraha ugrasravaha, the son of Romaharshana, tesham vajah pratipujya satkritya, having complimented them, greeting their enquiry, pravaktum upachakrame, upakrantavan, he started to answer. So why was this Suta highly pleased, and why did he compliment them for this asking these questions? Because these questions were not mere prashna, they were some prashna. They involved the topics of dharma. Basically, it was a dharma mimamsa. They are inquiring about dharma. Why dharma inquiry is so important for Suta? Because that is what Suta is going to present. Dharma is the sole means of attaining Krishna. This is very well said by Pushpadanta in the Mahimna Stotram. There is a verse there which says, Tri Sankhyaṁ Yogaha Pashupati Matam Vaishnavamiti Prabhinne Prasthane Paramidamadapathямiti cha Ruchinam Vaichitriyat Rujukutila Nana Pathajusham Nranam Eko Gamyastomasi Payasam Arnava Iva. So, the sole means of attaining the life's objective, which is knowing Atma, is dharma alone. That is what Pushpadanda says. He says there are different paths that are explained in the Vedas. Tri Sankhyaṁ Yogaha. Sankhyaṁ, the Sankhya Shastra of sage Kapila. The yoga of Maharshi Patanjali. And the Shaiva Agamas and the Vaikhanasa, Vaishnava Agamas. The Pancharatra Agamas, Kamika Agama, etc. The Shaiva and Vaishnava Agamas. Some of these teachings, some of these paths are very simple and straightforward. But some of them are very go up winding. But people are of different kinds and they all take a liking to these different divergent paths. According to their ruchi, their natural inclinations. Some will be interested in Shiva, some will be in Sankhya, so on. And they will all go on saying, this is the best path for me, this is very easy for me to understand. But here Pushpadanda gives a comparison. Like the waters of various rivers flowing down to the same ocean, Payasam Arnava Iva, Arnava means ocean. They all lead to the same Bhagavan, who is the final fulfillment of all embodied beings. So all the seekers, they finally get to the one single source, which is Ishvara. Here Pushpadanda compares our life to a swelling river. Just as the waters of the river, the Nadi Jalam, should be anukulam, should be conducive. Kulam means the banks of the river. Ganga Kulam means the Ganges bank. And the river has to be anukulam. The river water should restrict themselves to its course, kulam anu, in between the banks, and they should not transgress the banks. Otherwise, they will be wasted. If they go outside the bank, they cannot reach the ocean, the destination. They will be wasted. So also, the rule is only when you follow dharma, it will lead to the fulfillment of life, which is what the attainment of Bhagavan. Why? Because all life comes from Bhagavan, who is the cause of all that is here. We said that in the first verse. Janma Adyasya Yataha. yatas sarvani bhutani yasminscha vilayam yanti. So they all must go back to Krishna. Hence, it is very important that one should lead a life of dharma. And how to determine what this dharma is, that is what Shaunaka had asked in the 11th verse in the first chapter. Atas sadhotra yatsaram samudhritya manishaya bruhi. Please tell us by your intellectual acumen, by your capabilities, by analysis of various shastras, tell us what dharma is. What is dharma? There is a Dharma code book called Apastamba Dharma Sutra. So there in the first book, 20th chapter, the 6th sutra, Apastamba Maharshi, while inquiring into the origins and sources, moolam of dharma, he says this, the 6th sutra. Na dharma dharmo charataha avam swaiti, na deva gandharva na pitara ityachakshate ayam dharmaha ayam adharma iti. So this Maharshi says that this dharma and adharma avam swaha, we are here. They don't go achakshate, they don't go around announcing, hey look, here I am dharma, here we are dharma and adharma. They don't say that. Na deva gandharva na pitaraha, nor do the devas or putris or gandharvas declare this is dharma and this is adharma. So dharma surupam and adharma surupam is very sukshmam, it is adrishtam. There is no way we can completely define it because it is changing according to desha, kala and vastu. Generally in English or in all vernacular languages, the word dharma is translated as religion, which means it conveys an idea of a system of worship or faith or worshipping of some supernatural power. But from ancient times in our culture, this kind of process of worshipping is termed as matam or prasthanam, and that is not dharma. Dharma is something more. Then what is dharma? Mahabharata defines dharma as dharana dharma ityahuhu dharmo dharayati prajaha yasya dharana samyuktaha sa dharma iti nischayaha. Dharana dharmaha, that which binds everything together, holds things together, unites and removes separation or divisions in people, in communities, in prajaha. That is called dharma. Dharmo dharayati prajaha. Yasya dharana samyuktaha, that which has the power to unite the entire society, communities. That according to Vyasa is most conclusively dharma. Sa dharma iti nischayaha. Thus that very word dharma indicates that it is the basis of all that is there, but not just a merely matam or a religious or ethical code. The Yajniki Upanishad also explains how dharma is more than a mere code or religion. Dharmena sarvamidam parigrihitam dharman nati dushkaram tasmaad dharme ramante. All this that is here is encompassed and held by dharma. Sarvamidam dharmena parigrihitam. It is held by dharma. Dharma na ati dushkaram. There is nothing too difficult to attain if you follow dharma. Tasmat dharme ramante. Hence the wise men, the sages, deliberately follow and dharme ramante. Tasmat dharme ramante. They revel, ramante, in a life of dharma. and live a life of dharma. This uniqueness and all embracing aspect of dharma needs to be properly analyzed and understood. All substances, padarthas, has its own dharma as its defining factor, as its lakshanam, which means that by which a substance is what it is and losing which property it will cease to be what it is, that is dharma. For example, Ushnasparshatvam Agnehe. Agni or the fire, Ushnasparshatvam or heat. The heat of the fire losing which it ceases to be fire. So that is Agni Dharma, Ushnatvam. Thus all things that exist as they are because of their dharma. And the wise men, the different sages, they prescribe different courses of action, different dharmas, which are very often conflicting to each other. They appear to be conflicting. But this conflict has to be studied, analyzed and resolved by the Mimamsa Shastra with the Shesha Sheshi Bhava, based on the fact that the entire universe is complete where the segments or parts complements the whole. Shesha is part and Shesha is the whole. And so long as we maintain this knowledge, this awareness, we will not face conflict. If indeed we face conflict which will result in confusion, that is what forces us to violate this dharma. So we have to resolve that. So the answer we are seeking is clearly this. Whatever divides and disrupts the balance is adharma. Whatever unites the world into one unit and sustains the balance is dharma. Hence, jealousy, hatred, suspicion, doubt, violence, cheating, etc., are all adharma. Whereas mitratvam, friendliness, love, trust, ahimsa, non-violence, all these are dharma. Any act that springs from these feelings, we can safely count as dharma. And very soon, Suta Maharshi is going to clarify the nature of dharma in few verses from now. 5th or 6th verse, he would say, Savai pumsam paro dharmo yato bhaktiradhokshaje. Ananya bhakti of Sri Krishna is paramaha dharmaha, the absolute dharma. For all seekers of truth, this is paro dharmaha. We also saw this in detail while discussing the last verse of the first chapter. That by the pursuit of this paramaha dharmaha or absolute dharma, the devotee attains shanti, he remains calm. With ananya bhakti, with no wall of separation between him and Bhagavan, he is seeking to surrender himself or resolve himself. And for the seekers of Bhagavan, of truth, to the contemplators of Satyam, this becomes a living reality as truth is universal and verifiable in this world, not after death, as stated in the Gita, 5th chapter, 19th verse. Ihaiva tairjitas sargo yesham samye sthitam manaha. Here itself, in this world, even while living in this physical body, samsara is conquered by them whose minds are established on samatvam, sameness. Why? Nirdosham hi samam brahma, which indeed is the nature of truth, which are free from doshas, free from all blemishes. hence seekers tasmin sthitaha. That is why Vyasa deliberately presents Krishna as Satyam or truth. While saying, he didn't say Krishnam Param Dhimahi. He says Satyam Param Dhimahi. That very purpose of this dhyanam is to gain devotion towards Sri Krishna, the ultimate reality, and pursue tirelessly in the path of self-inquiry, because only this pursuit of this Param Satyam, as Krishna reveals that our true self is understood, that our true self is eternal and blissful. It is unsullied with shokam or pain or suffering. Knowing our true nature as such and working up from this idea of self and gaining clarity of the concept of self and the Bhagavat Tattvam, in whom this whole world has its being, yatra trisargo mrisha, and who abides in our hearts as antaryami, as well as in the heart of all beings, who works in and for the benefit of the whole universe, as an individual works in his body for his personal benefit. With this firm belief, faith in the teaching of Bhagavatam, we are destined to rise one day to the level of our divine source Sri Krishna, who is the Paramam Satyam, Sarva Karana Karanam, and thus transcend all the limitations of this human condition. We should work our way up gradually by widening our interest, by extending the sphere of Ananya Bhakti, that is love in all directions, till it embraces within it the entire humanity and the whole creation, till we are able to make our love convergent with that of Ishvara. So this upward progress is assured if we, instead of trusting our own strength and resources, with dainyam, with dina bhavana, invoke the presence of Bhagavan and regard ourselves as kevalam nimitta, a mere instrument in his hands. As Bhagavan advises Arjuna, nimitta matram bhavasavya sachin. Oh Arjuna, I know you are a very able, competent archer, but be a mere instrument, ever trying on your part to prove yourself a worthy instrument for Bhagavat Seva. That is why Suta is pleased at this dharmic enquiry, the questions raised by the Maharshis in the Shat Prashna Adhyaya, because it deals with Sri Krishna and the means of attaining him. As Suta is again going to point out in the 5th upcoming verse of this chapter, Munayas sadhu prishtoham bhavadbir loka mangalam yat krita krishna samparsnaha enatma samprasidati. Hey, O sages, your questions are worthy because they deal with the supreme truth Krishna, and so they are pertinent to the upliftment of all humanity, the entire universe, all people of the world. So Suta complimented Shaunaka's enquiry, Pradipujya vachastesham, in this opening verse, and Pravaktum upachakrave, started to clarify the answers to the query. Pratipujya vajastesham pravaktum upachakrame. Upachakrame means, Sridhara writes, Upakramo nama, pravachanasya upakramo nama, Guru Devata Namaskara. Sridhara says, Pravachanasya upakramo nama, Guru Devata Namaskara iti. Invoking and offering the respects to one's Guru or preceptor and Ishtadevata, that is what Suta is proceeding to do in the next 3 verses. Swasti prajabhyah paripalayantam nyayena margena mahim mahisha go brahmanebhyah shubhamastu nityam loka samasta sugino bhavantu sarve bhavantu suginah sarve santu niramaya sarve bhadrani pashyantu ma kaschid dukkha bhag bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om.